Hi there, my name is Blacklock and I'm a Master P.G.A professional based an hour north of London. And you find me in the Orca fitting studio. Orca are the clubs that I play with and recommend. They're the highest quality components, and the club fitting process with the staff here will optimize your swing and your game with the best components and the best data. So this is the GC Quad launch monitor. When that golf ball leaves the club face, the next 10 inches it takes 23 images of the ball. So the launch data is absolutely precise. Radar indoors cannot be because the club face is between the ball and the radar. And it takes a foot or so before the ball comes visible. So with a radar, it's a guess. It's an educated guess, but it's a guess. The data provided by the GC2 Quad is absolutely bang on the money. So there's no guessing. We know exactly what it should be. Okay, so in this piece, I'm just going to talk about a subject that you see in lots of swings. That at the top of the backswing, people are very, very bowed in the left wrist. Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, there's loads out there. It's not often that the golf swing gets taught universally the same. The nearest we came to it was actually the great David Ledbetter, fantastic coach who got Faldo to his 6 majors. And you may not agree with everything that David taught, but if you're a teacher, you must give him thanks for creating a teaching industry that we've all benefited from. So David Ledbetter and Nick Faldo, one of the great partnerships of coach and player. What we're now seeing, particularly with technology and all the launch monitors and launch data, we're seeing a style that demands the longest tee shot you can possibly hit. Go find your ball, might be in the jungle, but it's only wedging anyway. So they're absolutely busting it the best part of 400 yards now. That's making the holes within range of a short iron, and as long as they find the ball, they've probably got a shot. However, players for a long period of time have been bowed at the top. So when I go back here, I'm in plane. If this bows and this drops, look at the club head, it's dropped out of plane. And that's quite a strange place to be. You've now got to turn the body to make it work and to keep the club face from turning over. Okay, so let me show that again. You go back in plane, this bows, the club's now in a different plane, you have to clear the body to get the club to the inside, and then you hold out the hit. Now it's commonplace on the men's tour to see the bowed wrist, and therefore to counteract the shut face at impact, there's a suppression of the strike. So when you get an athletic player like Dustin Johnson, they can afford to be bowed, suppress the strike, give a bit of distance, but gain accuracy. It didn't really suit Dustin Johnson in the early years because the shut face bow at the top made his wedges and his 3/4 wedges a bit suspect. It interests me that on the ladies tour, most of them seem to be much more hinged in plane. There are some out there, but when the moment that club drops, there's a loss of power. So the girls, for their distance, you'll see the wrist hinging a little bit and not bowing at the top. So I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just that if you choose to bow at the top, the face is shut. If the face is shut, you need a compensation in the body clearance. All right? So, let me just show you that with my driver. I'm going to go back, in plane, bow the wrist, and then try and go from there. Okay? So I didn't hit a very long shot there, but you can see that I got cut spin. I stopped it going left. So I was very bad, very uncomfortable, but I kept that position. I turned my body out of the way, and I got a power fade. So pays your money, and you take your choice. The reason that I believe the wrists don't need to bow is because the human body is not designed to be that way, particularly when it comes to swinging in plane. So if I let my left arm hang, the left thumb is parallel to the right of centre. Can you see that? I then build my grip, complete, and take my stance. Now what I can show you is that is wrist hinge, that is forearm rotation, and that shoulder turn. I think you'd agree that I'm in plane. See the club face? It's pointing skyward. But if I bow the wrist, look how much it drops below plane, a good foot. Okay, club is closed. Now if I hit it from there with a draw, it would smother. So the people that are bowed shut at the top, they have to drop to the inside, clear the big muscles, hold out the hit, but they still hit it the best part of 400 yards. and the girls don't. So they don't tend not to bow, they tend to hinge a bit more. So there's more than one ways of skinning a cat. If you choose to be bowed at the top, you've got to take evasive action in the downswing. If you nuke the top with a wrist hinge, you don't have to worry about it.